A grand jury could decide tonight whether staff at a day camp should face charges after a 5-year-old boy died. He drowned at the Cochrane Mill Nature Center in Chattahoochee Hills. It is a case that has outraged so many of you. Benjamin Hosh's parents say the camp never asked their permission to take him into the water, and the boy wasn't given a life jacket, even though he could not swim. John Sheerick's been on the story. He joins us now live from Fulton County from the courthouse, where the district attorney's office is getting ready to hold that press conference tonight. John.
We are here with Benjamin Kamal Hosh's parents and their attorney, L. Chris Stewart, and then, of course, Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard, who is here to tell us about what the grand jury has decided in this case. Mr. Howard, what is the decision?
The grand jury started the examination of this case today at about 1 p.m. Roughly about 40 minutes ago, they completed the evaluation of the evidence that was presented, and the grand jurors returned an indictment charging two separate parties. They charged in the indictment Terry Ann Clark, who operated the facility, served as the director, and she was charged with one count of involuntary manslaughter. And she was also charged with one count of reckless conduct. The other person that was charged was the owner of the daycare facility, and her name is Mary Beth Wansley. And Ms. Wansley was charged with one count of operating an early childhood learning center without a license. That is a misdemeanor. The charge of reckless conduct against Ms. Clark is a misdemeanor, but the involuntary manslaughter is a felony that carries a sentence of 1 to 10 years.
So what happens next?
The next thing that happens is within a couple of days, the case will be assigned to one of the Superior Court judges here in Fulton County. The case will then be placed on that judge's calendar and for arraignment here in Fulton County.
Mr. Howard, what is the importance of bringing this case before the grand jury and perhaps to a jury for trial? Why did you pursue it?
Well, one of the things that we wanted to, we focused upon today is whether or not the defendants in this case had some prior knowledge that this child might have had the propensity to walk away from their instruction. And because of that, the evidence presented an issue of whether or not they should have elevated the supervision or the monitoring of this child. They did not. The child was able to walk away, not only to strike his head and drown, but it took them what seems like an unreasonable period of time to actually even discover that the child was missing. And when the grand jurors heard those facts, they decided to return the indictment.
And again, it's the daycare center owner?
That's correct.
Day camp owner and the operator?
That's correct, or the director of the daycare facility.
And Mr. Hosh, I know you're going to be speaking perhaps in a moment. Is there something, as we're on live now, that you would like to add about your reaction to the grand jury's decision now in this case?
I feel like the grand jury, the community, has felt our pain and has spoken with their return of the indictment. And I don't know that I'm happy, but you know, we have fought for this. We've had patience for the process, and it seems like the process is moving along.
Ms. Idris Hosh, it's been 9 months, and you've been looking for this day for justice, as you said before. What is your reaction to this?
This is our first step towards justice, and I want to thank the District Attorney's Office for fully understanding the importance and the negligence that these people did, and how they did not pay attention to our son. So this first step towards justice, if like he said, it's not something that you're happy about, because we miss our son, of course, we miss our son, but we feel like now people really understand the importance of what happened to our son.
Thank you all very much. We're going to continue to talk with the parents and with the District Attorney Paul Howard, but right now, Melissa, we're going to throw it back to you. 2 people indicted, one of them on felony involuntary manslaughter. Back to you.
John Sherrick, thank you so much for bringing us all of that. Again, a major development today in the case. Benjamin Hosh's parents, they're speaking to John Sherrick after the district attorney in Fulton County announced there would be charges, that the grand jury decided to file charges, to motion for charges. The father saying that the grand jury felt his pain and has spoken with this indictment, and the mother of the little boy saying this is the first step towards justice. This case now moves to the courts for arraignment. This is a story, of course, will continue to stay on. You can get the very latest if you want to watch that news conference again, get back stories on this story from last summer. You can find it on 11alive.com.